Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie, and I'm a full-time Elliott Wave trader in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin. We're going to go over the DXY and Smooth Love Potion. That name cracks me up, but we're going to go over it today. Okay? If you are interested in becoming an independent trader yourself and learning my entire system that is not just Elliott Wave, the link is in the description below for the Discord. The special for the $1 a day TA is going away at the end of the month. So take advantage, guys, if you want to get in on that plan. All right, let's get started. So we all know that we want this to be a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5. We've been over this like I don't know how many times over the last couple of months. I will say, and I've talked about it a lot, that if we lose the level of 30K and this comes down deep, okay, can this still be a wave 4? Absolutely, because the invalidation is touching the top of this one. So yes, it could come down to this last support here. But I will say this, the deeper and the deeper and the deeper this comes, the more likely we will end up in a bear market. Just keep that in mind. So I would really like to see us hold this level. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that if we break it, we're going into a bear market. I'm just saying that the probabilities increase. And so keep that in mind, okay? Last video or the video before that, I went over in depth how a bear market happens. And it's an interesting watch. So if you haven't watched it, I would suggest you watch it, okay? All right. So what options do we have left available to us? Well, we definitely have the triangle, and let's get in a little closer and talk about the triangle. And I'm going to turn off this volume for just a second here so we can get in and look. All right, when you pull a fib extension on your A to B, your C hits a 786. So that means that our D wave needs to come very close or hit a 786 also. That's the way that triangles work, especially the symmetrical, but this is a running, okay? So can it come shy? It can. When I pull a fib extension on this move, you can see that the 1.618 is tagging that 786 like so beautifully that I would want to say that if we're going to get up there, we're going to do it in an A, a B, and we're going to get a C wave that tags that 1.618. That's one way that we can get up there. Okay. What other way? Well, we could have a C wave that doesn't quite get up that high. Then we could come down and say 3, and then we go up in 5 and tag it. There's many ways that we could get up there, but we need to get up there in 3. Okay. And if we can start now and not roll over, that would be a beautiful thing. Okay, because we really need to start now. This leg doesn't produce what we want and rolls over, it's not going to look good. Okay. All right. The next option is the WXY count. And the WXY is assuming that this wave turns into a 3-wave move, and that is the way I'm leaning, guys, with this wave. That it's definitely started out in 3, which means no matter what it does, it's going to be a 3-wave move. Because I'm not looking at that first wave as a 5. Could I be wrong? Of course I can be wrong. I can definitely be wrong. But the way I see it is it's 3. So with that being said, This X could come up pretty high if it wanted to, okay? But it means that we would come down in 3, or we would come down in 5 if we can get high enough, meaning that we would have to tag the 618. So from high to low, we would need to tag the 618 at 52,231 to call this a B and not an X. Okay, so if we tag that, we could come down in 3, or we could come down in 5. But a WXY, shouldn't come past the 1.382. Okay, so if we're making WXY, we can pretty much have the assumption that we should hold 19,000. Okay, we just got to see what this move here does. Okay, now I know that a lot of Elliottians are seeing this move as a 5-wave move. Could it be? I guess so. I guess it could be. So we need to keep that in mind. Okay. But here's the problem. I don't see this as 5. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we're somehow coming up, we're going to make 3 here. We don't know how high. And that would open up the door for either a wave 1 or a wave. So it would mean A, B. Let's hope this B gets up really high, C. Or it's going to get ugly. And this is a 1, this is a 2. And we're about to come down for 3, 4, 5. And we could come very deep, guys. So we really don't want this to be 5. Because 5 opens up bearish doors. Okay. All right. We don't want that to be 5. But could it be? It could be. It could be. So the higher this goes, the better. So that we can potentially make the triangle. So that we could potentially, this could be a high B. So that we could make A, B, C zigzag and maybe potentially hold this. But we definitely don't want the 1 and the 2. But we won't know what it's going to be until it happens. Unless, we got some crystal ball and I don't have one. Some days I wish I did, but unfortunately I don't. All right, so what else? Well, let's go down to the lower time frames. Now, last video I talked about this, okay, how we could climb higher. We can take this one off the table. Well, actually, no. That could still happen. I apologize. This could be an X, and we could still get Y. So how would these two pan out here? Well, one or the other. This is a wave 1. We'd come down for a 2. Then we get a 3, a 4, a 5, and it would be a C. Or we turn this wave into a zigzag, and we get an A, a B, and a C. So both are still on the table, but I do feel that the potential for us going up is there. So what do we need to look for? Well, right now we have A, B, C. This is the way I'm looking at it, guys. This can be argued. it could be argued that it's an A, a B, and a C, or that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I did speak about it in last video. There's the count for it. Okay. So it's all going to depend on what we do here. If we want to see this make a big C leg here, okay, first off, if we don't want this to be 5 waves, we're going to have to break this high right here. To completely invalidate this being 5 waves down, we're going to have to break this high. And you're probably asking, well, what does it matter? Well, it does matter because what starts with 5 ends with 5. So if we don't invalidate this being a 5 wave move, we can turn it into an A, a B, and a C, or the uglier one that we don't want, which is a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So we really need to break this high to invalidate this being a 5 wave move. Okay? So we need to watch this guy right here. All right? Does it pull back in a 3 wave move? If it does, that's a really good thing. That means we're getting continuation. If when it's over, it comes down in a 5 wave move, we don't want this. We don't want that. Because that means that we are potentially coming to the downside. Okay? And that will more confirm that this is a 5 wave move. So when this is done, we want to see a 3 wave pullback and continuation. And we want to break this high and invalidate this as being a 5 wave move. All right. I know that got a little complicated, but I hope I explained it well. Let's move over to the DXY. All right. I've went over the DXY pretty much every video, and why I have is because it's important, because we are completely inverse with the DXY right now. So I am up on a very high time frame, the monthly, and I see this move as an ABC. This move in the middle is a zigzag, ABC. Okay. Now, I've got this box around it for a reason. I call this a connector. I call this a leg. This leg needs a partner, and this is the connector for it. So eventually, guys, we are going to make a partner for this. Whether this gets extended longer and then the partner comes, or the partner's coming now. But what we can do is make a smaller baby connector. And then we make same degree type box that we see here. So basically we connect it like this. Okay? We end up making a bigger middle. All right? And what that would mean is we would stretch this out before we get this partner leg to the upside. Okay? So this is probably the better scenario, but I'm up on the monthly. So this is going to be a big legs going back and forth in here if we do this. What that will mean for Bitcoin, you know, if we're making this leg now for this partner, that's not good for Bitcoin. That's not good for Bitcoin at all. We need it to make a bigger middle. Definitely. So let's take a look at this leg here. Now, we had this channel that we were in that we almost lost here. I do feel that most likely we are in a different channel. Okay? Because we're now moving sideways. But this is definitely an uptrend. So what can it do? Well, I see this move right now as A, B, C. Now we're moving in this upward channel, which leads me to believe that we're about to make W some type of X, and we're about to go up to the upside for Y. Maybe shorter to make the baby box. But this wouldn't be good for Bitcoin. Okay. So, yeah. But is there any other scenario here? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. This is definitely making a connector for this move. Meaning that it's going to go more upward. Okay. So can it come back to the channel? Yes. To give Bitcoin a chance to move up in that C leg. Okay. This C leg. If the DXY comes, back down, that'll give Bitcoin a chance to move up. So playing around in this channel is probably what would lead to the upside maybe for the triangle. Okay. But we'll have to wait and see. But I do see more upside here. All right, smooth love potion. So we had this downtrend and this beautiful blast to the upside. So what is it doing? Well, we definitely ended here in some type of ending diagonal maybe. Okay. Which means this really looks like a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. And we're going to treat it like that until it proves us wrong. Can it be a zigzag? It can be. It can be a zigzag. But I'm more leaning that it's a 5-wave move. Okay. But we need to wait for this correction to end. Now, we were in this channel and we've managed, and we've managed to come down and up and play around in it. So let's move a little lower. So right now I see this move as an A, a B, and a potential C. What will that mean? Well, it's going to mean that we're coming back to the downside, honestly. But this C could get pretty big. If we were to take a fib extension on it, this C wave can get all the way. Sorry about that. The dogs were barking, so I had to pause it. So can the C wave come up high? Yes, it can. Okay, we would get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it would mean, okay, that we've got a 3-wave move, a 3-wave move, and then we'd come down for a 3-wave move. But I'm still looking for some type of 2-wave here. And hopefully this can get up high, because it would mean that we could potentially hold this support and not come down into this one. If we lose this support at 0.17, we're most likely coming down to this one, okay? And the invalidation point, we know, is at the bottom here for this being a 5-wave move, okay? And that would mean that it is a zigzag. But hopefully it's a 5-wave, and if it is, it looks really nice to play the other 5, okay? All right. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.